What was all that crashing and banging about before?
Some out of town.
It's you, the one who broke all our furniture. What do you want? Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
I'm looking for my pal. Have you seen him?
The gentleman who was with you? Yes, he's upstairs, but...
Thank you. I'll go and fetch him.
Will this suffice as a deposit?
By the sands. That's a black pearl.
One of the many treasures in my collection that I would be only too happy to part with, should you give me reason to do so.
All right. I'm sure that we can come to an agreement, but not here.
What are you doing, Uncle? Care to explain why you're giving gifts to Kupka's men?
Bait, my boy. One cannot catch one's prey without it. And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started by asking around the markets as to where I might purchase crystals. I had no luck, of course. It's forbidden to trade in such things. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion just happened to attract the attention of those uniformed ruffians. They took me aside and said they could procure the crystal I sought if I proved I could pay for it.
So the pearl was your proof?
I thought they'd asked for more. A second-rate specimen like that would only fetch 500,000 or so. A small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of subterfuge. What did you discover?
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. And some people seem to think they're being stolen. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spending money all over town. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere, and pocketing the profits.
I'll wager you're right.
We'll meet with them then, just as you arranged, and put an end to the trouble Lubor spoke of.
Ha! That preening popinjay thought this would be difficult. It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a Rosfield. We'll soon wipe that smirk off his face. I arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust I can count on your support. If things turn sour.
Of course.
Why is the tavern shut?
I'll take it from here.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my lord. You've brought your contribution?
All the silver and stones I could scrape together at such short notice?
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes? If you've no objections, I'd like to see the crystal.
Of course. Right this way, my lord.
Not bad at all. You weren't lying about the clarity. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it wouldn't be seized as property of the Republic?
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're not buying from us. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price has been met.
Royalists, eh? What brings you here?
Why, to collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. Our nations are allies, and so they are entitled to a portion of the Mother Crystal's bounty. And being such good friends, we elected to increase that portion and share the benefits. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere, no matter where they might happen to end up next.
Did you get all that? They're in cahoots!
So it would seem.
My lord, what is the meaning of this?
Double-crossing dogs. They're not here to do business. Kill them. Kill them both!
I'm just getting warmed up. Well, that wasn't too bad. How'd you like my performance, huh? I've often played the villain on the stage. I think I did the role justice. Don't you?
Greybeard, you were magnificent. The battle scene was particularly thrilling. Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but perhaps that's for the best.
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's sordid transaction. I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly, buying one's way into the confidence of degenerates. Ingenious.
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking Crystal's men for the common folk and conspiring with the Royalists. Well, now it's over.
Indeed it is. The people of Dalimil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men, let alone a foreign army. Until you two came along, that is. Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them while I fetch a wagon. It occurs to me that I still don't know your name.
Clive.
So, Sid the Second is a Clive? I suppose it could have been worse. Well, Clive, you held up your end of the bargain, so I must do the same. Passage through the South Gate, was it not? To tell the truth, you've helped a little there too. Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of their missing comrades. And those left behind have been encouraged to look the other way should you attempt to pass through.
Thank you. And please allow me to cover your costs. You still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust? I saw you pluck it from one of the bodies.
Oh, dear. Was I really so obvious?
And my name is not Greybeard. It is Lord Byron Rosfield, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Greybeard.
Of all the... Ugh!
Here, wear this. Any friend of mine who sees you with it shall be a friend of yours.
Thank you, Lubor.
And please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalimil is back in bed with Sid.
Omia Lostelan. Tuisa Achilles.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive? So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold. Well then, I wish you a safe journey south.
Thank you.
Not at all. It was my pleasure.
Come on, Uncle. Let's go.
I've never even forged a butter knife. Perhaps Forge Master Luber's having fun at my expense.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Neither would I.
Oh, wait. Are you Clive?
Sorry, my mind was elsewhere. I'm Saver, Master Luber's Least accomplished apprentice. Soon to be former apprentice if I don't pass this test. Maybe I'm just not the resourceful type. People are buying up weapons faster than the Briar's Kiss can forge them, and here I am, unable to make a decent bit of kitchenware. He wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of Dalamil. Whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't suppose you have any idea what he's on about, do you?
I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Thought I'd ask. It was that or pack my bags.
I could give you a hand if you like. I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been, and that Lubor needs all the capable hands he can find.
I'd be a fool to refuse.
So, where do we start?
Good question. If I'm honest, I've never made any kind of knife before. And then there's this little riddle to keep in mind. The spirit of Dalamil. Nothing is ever simple with that man.
The way I see it, there's only one way we'll be solving Lubor's puzzle. We need information. The more the better.
You're right. There's no point fumbling in the dark, I suppose. Now, who to speak to first? There's plenty of folk in Dalamil who use knives for a living. There's the butcher, of course, and any number of cooks. They're bound to have an opinion or two about the tools of their trade. All right. I think we have a plan. Let's get to it, shall we? I'll talk to every cook I can find. You speak to the butcher, and anyone else you can think of.
All right. Good luck.
Let's hope that someone says something useful.
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I'd better get to it.
Clive.
How very fitting. Of course. They're simply...
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
Fresh bread.
Welcome, sir.
A question. I need to know what...
You a blacksmith or
something.
Fair enough. First and foremost, give me a blade which can...
So a knife that stays shut.
Weights and pots! Everything I've worked for. All those years of toil. Every...
You all right?
The baths are closed. On second thought, perhaps you are just what I need. Might your services be for hire?
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in Dalimil wouldn't be enough to cool it. I've no doubt that my woes stem from the water's source. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one. I beg of you. Go to Dust...
All right. I'll go and take a look.
Wonderful. Leave the market by these baths. My livelihood, my very...
Wait inside. Ah, they've opened the gate.
Lubor was... to his word.
We can make our way back to them.
Silver platters, just like they eat off in Castle Dasbog.
Look, Father. Hot water.
I'll be asking for you again, my son.
Yes, they're quite sought after.
Is it true what I'm hearing? That the men of the Rock were carting off our crystals for themselves?
Certainly explain why
You're going to drink my... I need to drink.
Fucking men of the wrong.
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Kneaded to a silken softness.
It would make a fine gift for you.
Just look at the
hanging lanterns. Keep
but are, closed for scrubbing. Please bear with us a little longer.
Plates and pots!
I need a drink.
You're going to drink
Is it true what I'm hearing?
The finest
Take a sniff, good sir. You'll be transported.
Put a knife with an edge like Odin's razor in my hand, and I'll make short work of any carcass.
Made from the stoutest stoneware. Won't ship, won't crack. Silver platters. Just like they eat off in Castle Daz.
It's all the fault of this blasted war. The moment they find out you're from the Empire, they flat out...
Get it, boy!
Plates and pots! Bowls and basins!
Fresh bread, warm. From the oven. Here, have a taste.
Yes, they're quite sought after.
What is it now? Ours is... At least... So... You and I... What? Alas. Still... Best of luck.
Is it true what I'm hearing? The men of the Rock were carting off our...
My carpets have
It would make us
needed to a silken...
Put a knife with an edge like Odin's
Like eating
razor
a
in my
cloud with a
hand,
crust.
and I'll make short work of any carcass.
Made from the stoutest...
Well, we can make our way back to the Fang now, at least.
What is it? Hunter. Why?
I have a question. Afield.
Make it. Times are hard enough as it is.
Thank you. I won't keep you any longer.
All business, eh? Man after my own heart.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
Wheat incense.
Wax candle. Plates and pots. Bowls and basins.
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
So, how'd it go? You learn anything useful, or...?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp. But I don't see how that
I didn't have much. All the cook said was that he needs his knives too heavy and they do his shoulder in.
So we're no better off than when we started. Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil remark, but that can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he chooses them carefully. No. We must be missing something.
No doubt you're right, but I have to make a start. So...
Agreed.
Right. Trouble is, it's either meaning someone is...
Is there no one else you can turn to?
The other, a merchant. I bet she'd know a thing.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
Any luck? Or will you be needing help with your bags?
Well, I asked her, but... you tell him.
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Lubor, there are options. They're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much as a lick of the whetstone. But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so it doesn't come cheap.
And it's beyond my skill to handle.
Unique to ash. Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to refine it. Make it lighter.
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron. Then that's what he'll expect you to use. But he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil remark wasn't a riddle, but a hint.
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone, I suppose. Folk first settled Dalamil to get at her mineral deposits. And, if you know the trick, it can be melted down in the furnace to drive out impurities from low-quality iron.
Bloody hell! That must be it! I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around enough blacksmiths to know how it works.
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask after all that you've done for me, but...
Limestone? Fine. I can hardly abandon you now. Besides, I want to know if this is the answer to Lubor's little riddle.
I can't thank you enough, Clive. You'll have no trouble finding limestone over in the terraces. The place is bloody made of it.
Then I suppose I'll meet you back at the forge.
Right you are. I'll see you shortly. So, do you crush it up, or just throw it in the... furnace?
This is no good.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
The men of the rock were carting
My car. It's
Take a sniff, good sir.
needed to a silken softness.
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Sweet incense.
Well, we can make our way back to the...
Good day, my lord. Go with Gilbert.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
A question that I neglected to ask earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Waloed are allies, and as you've seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. A man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road ahead.
Isn't there always?
If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will enter via the mines, where the guard is lightest. I've lost one Cid already. If I lose another, people will start to think me careless.
I don't plan on dying. Not before Kupka does, anyway.
Well, so long as you have a plan.
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs. Shall we press on?
One rock looks a lot like another. But hopefully this is what Southern needs.
What the hell are those?
Something awful's taken up residence in the springs.
By the flames. That explains the heat. Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
Come on, girl, the gate's open.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
Are you looking for something in particular? My thanks. Fare you well.
There he is. The man... I was hoping we'd be seeing you again.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the terrace?
Not what I expected, that's...
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? That's something new to worry about. But I burdened you with my worries enough already. Here, a small something by way of thanks. Right. It's high time I got back to work. With a little luck, the day might yet be salvaged.
Fresh bread.
Lightning.
From the oven.
Fresh from the grill. Get it while it's hot.
I wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this is enough.
You are one of the good ones, you know that? You and that merchant both, she's got quite a gift for teaching that one. Now, time to see if limestone... That'll do, I reckon. A knife forged from the very rocks of Dalimil. Her spirit, if you will.
It's a fine-looking blade.
I only hope Master Lubor agrees.
That sounds like my cue. And just as well. I was getting tired of waiting.
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Sava, do you think this is a carving knife worthy of the fine people of Dalimil?
I'd like to think so. But what do you think?
What do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish, but it won't last long with hard use. And it's heavy, heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leaves you short of the mark.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but it certainly shows initiative. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalimil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava. Know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. Thank you. I was wondering, what would you do if you were asked to forge a carving knife?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it cost an absolute fortune.
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalimil had nothing to do with limestone or anything much at all. Meaning, I had you run around for no good reason.
You've passed your test. That's all that matters. You'll have a forge of your own in no time.
And when I do, I'll craft you the finest carving knife you have ever seen.
The finest fabric!
The most fragrant herbs in the
Juiciest meat from Greens.
Plates and pots! Oh, just look at...
Hanging lanterns, keep the darkness from your door.
Oh.
We should get going soon.
As long as we stay out of the Deadlands.
Come on, girl, the gate's open now.
There it is. Drake's Fang.
Kupka will be hiding inside.
Along with goodness knows how many guards, all on highest alert. You'll need to keep your wits about you if you're to reach him. So be careful.
I will, Uncle.
Before you go, Clive, allow me to apologize. After what befell at Phoenix Gate and the crisis that followed in its wake, I fled. I retreated to my counting house and danced attendance upon the vicereine in the hope it would bring me favor. I betrayed my nation to save my skin, like the coward I am. And I'm sorry.
Uncle, please.
It's not too late, Clive. Rosaria is yours by right, and there are those that would help you to take it back. Had I the courage of my brother, I might already have done so. But that ship has sailed. You, however...
No. Forgive me, but I cannot. I fight to build a new world now. A better world. Where men can live and die on their own terms. I was raised in a nation that strove to improve the plight of bearers. Only later did I realize that spark of freedom did not arise by chance, but was kindled by my father. You would see me follow in his footsteps. And that is exactly what I mean to do. Not by ruling Rosaria, but by extending his ideals to the whole of the Twins. Though every soul in the realm may judge my actions heresy, I am certain my cause is just.
You really are just like him, you know? Thank you, Clive, for coming back to me. I am proud to call you nephew. Well then, this is where we must part ways. Wish me luck in convincing my Canvarian friend to share his considerable talents. I mean to plunder his coffers and prove myself worthy of a place in your merry band. Till then, my boy.
Till then, go safely, Uncle.
And you, nephew. We have much to catch up on, you and I. I shall expect you to regale me with the tales of all your adventures when next we meet. You can regale me too, Torgal.
I'm coming for you, Kupka.